basically is the principle behind the Playboy clubs.
The club is really an extension of the concept that was developed in the magazine. It's an attempt as much as possible to kind of bring to life many of the notions that are popularized in the magazine.
Playboy Bunny was someone who worked in the clubs, learned the bunny dip, which was a particular way of serving a drink.
Okay, once again, let's see the bunny dip done just so. That's absolutely correct.
So a bunny is sophisticated, but she's also naive. A bunny is available, but also you cannot touch her. All of Playboy is about these contradictions between one idea and another, and then trying to live inside of them.
We take blatant sexuality and then try to layer over it a bunch of childlike, charming, asexual aspects, as if that kind of cleans it up. That's like doing heroin and taking vitamins.
Playboy is an attempt to put together a quality entertainment magazine for an adult male audience, which brings together things of an erotic and sensual nature with things of an intellectual nature.
Faster. Very good. Around the table.
So I think it was a very traditional approach to men's roles and women's roles.
We're attempting to do in a very real way is try to give sex a good name. You wouldn't think that would be so difficult, but it is.
The clubs were still in operation at the time that Dorothy Stratten came to Playboy. And when she needed a job, both to get her green card and maybe to make a little extra money, she wound up working as a Playboy Bunny at the Los Angeles Playboy Club.
I don't think she was allowed to serve alcohol because she was only 18, so she was kind of a door bunny that would greet people coming in. And from a business standpoint, that was a pretty good move.
A lot of women come to Playboy and they want to be published in the magazine. And they're beautiful, they're gorgeous, but they are not Hugh Hefner's idea of the girl next door. They are too worldly or womanly. A lot of men like to have their women as not, you know, having not been around too much.
She was so thrilled and happy to be part of it, and the innocence is what you want to keep. Hef saw that, everyone saw that. You could not spend a minute with Dorothy and not be in love with her.
Ken Honey submitted her. They were the tests that he shot.
He sent me the pictures and I called up and said, when could she be ready to come down? I wanted her on the next plane.
That was a big day for me. They flew me out that Sunday, the first time I was on an airplane.
I don't think she said much. She listened to me. I explained the whole thing. We'll test her, we'll send her home, we'll let her know.
And they did test shootings with me that same day. They brought me up to Hefner's mansion that same day.
I introduced her to people. She relaxed a little, but not a lot.
It was very exciting, very nerve-wracking.
And she came in the next morning, bubbly, ready to go. I thought, wow.
So how do you do a nude layout? Do you just walk into a room, take off all your clothes? I mean, do they work up to gradually? You know, take a few shots with just like a bare chest and then work up to a nude shot? Or how do they do? How do they make you feel comfortable?
Depending on each individual girl and how nervous she is.
Were you nervous?
Yes, very.
I think even when her pictures first came in, they knew right away, because she came right back to the mansion and they shot her very quickly. And it all happened very fast for Dorothy.
I worked for Playboy for 43 years. It was pretty easy to know if a girl was going to make it or not.
Luminescent, angelic. She lit up a room. All the corny phrases were true about Dorothy.
So Playboy did a documentary called Portrait of Dorothy Stratten, in which you can see them filming her photo shoot.
Good. Okay, toss the head around.
And you can see what it is that goes into that thing that made Playboy so successful.
Obviously, the bits that they chose for these documentaries were very flattering.
Little more, Dorothy. Oh, now it happens. Look at that.
And yet still, she laughs so much. She spends so much time just seeing how silly it is.
I called her a woman child. When you looked at her, she was a total lady, had this statuesque look, but when you talked to her, she was still a little girl. She was thrilled about the whole session.
I noticed in the first centerfold that we ran that if you look at it, that she's looking up. So you kind of saw the whites of her eyes. And I'm not going to say it exaggerated in a sense, because I don't even think she recognized what power she had at all. That picture told me a lot.
That was a male fantasy, that she was this innocent, almost virginal young woman making herself available, maybe for the first time, to the man of her dreams or to every man and his fantasies.
She was about as naive as anybody that I'd ever met in Los Angeles. And I said to Paul, Paul, do you care about her? And he said, yeah. I said, well, if you really care about her, take her back to Vancouver. She doesn't belong here.
And then the photos are incredible, and Hef's thrilled, and the next thing you know, you get your month. She was really happy then. That's when I think it was starting to change with Paul.
Paul tried to keep tabs on her. I know he did, but it wasn't out of, I don't think, jealousy. It was protecting his interest.
Paul Snider had shaped her, like Pygmalion, to be a certain type of woman. But then she came to Playboy, and then the Playboy world started to shape her. This is how you answer a question. This is how you arch your back. This is how you look good in pictures. They were trying to give her the level of sophistication that would make her succeed more in the world. And that was, at the same time, about maybe Paul is not the man for you.
He found out when he turned up there, they didn't want him, right? The gates were closed to him. They wanted her, but not him. Why is that? Because a guy like Hugh Hefner in a place like Playboy is about maximizing female archetypes. They didn't need Paul Snider. They could handle that kind of thing on their own.
Stay the shot from your double top. Stay the shot from your double. Stay the shot from your double top. Stay the shot from your double.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.